Hi everyone, it's Sandra, and Landon and I are refilling my Tumbleweed Worm Café from scratch. I always put a little bit of browns down in the bottom drainage tray because the worms are going to go there. And then I'm going to fill up this level, which is going to be the bottom working tray, with some lovely shredded leaves. I'm putting them in dry because, like Patrick from Vermicompost Learn by Doing, I know those juices are going to drip down and eventually the worms will come down here and these leaves will be raring to go as a new bedding layer. These worms are in for a treat as I try something new to instantly create worm bedding for the top working tray. This is some shredded cardboard. I sat outside. We had like 1.7 millimeters of rain on it. So not enough to make it wet, just mildly damp. But I had Landon go across the road where we have an 80-acre park. He went down under the immediate leaf litter layer and found what's called duff. It's a highly composted layer of detritus that is between the living layer of the forest floor and the soil that underpins the trees themselves. I've never used this in any of my worm bins before, so I thought what better way to introduce it than to use it as an inoculant to this cardboard and see whether the worms really take to it like they did when I did that leaf mold only worm bin. Because Landon took off the immediately uppermost layer of the forest floor and just grabbed this under layer that is mostly decomposed already, it will still be vibrant with microorganisms and living material, but it won't have, I don't believe, the slug eggs and critters that would be deposited in the very top layer of the forest floor. I hope not. This bin lives in my kitchen. I just really thought that duff is something that we all have access to. You can, find it. Like I said, we just went to a local park and just dug under a tree that had never been sprayed or chemicals applied to the understory. And with a garden fork, Landon was down there and got a little bucket full of it in no time at all. So I'm thinking, for those of you who don't have a compost pile, who don't want to do leaf mold, who don't want to do pre-composting with tubs of food and browns, this is a way to inoculate with very little effort on your part, and I'm hoping no risk to bring critters inside your home. If you need instant worm bedding, I think this could be your answer. I'm so confident that these worms are going to settle right into this duff, this detritus from the forest floor, that I'm feeding, even though this is a brand new bin, I am feeding them right off the bat. I don't think the worms are going to go into shock here. I think they're going to be perfectly happy. Because what could be more natural to a composting worm than to live in the microorganisms that inhabit the forest floor? So I'm just going to empty these worms in here and then let them settle in. I'm just going to turn this tray over that I used for the worms. That not only will keep some moisture in it, but it'll create a little dome with some condensation that any worms or wisps can climb out of the container and back down into the bedding. As you can see, these worms are carrying a few of their castings and overs, the chunkier bits from their previous bin, which will only add to the inoculation. Let me know if you've ever tried using duff in your worm bins and how it turned out. Thanks so much for watching. Bye for now.